Hey guys, this is G-Star321 here again, and we are back with more Ninja Gaiden 3 on Master Ninja. This is day 2 in Saudi Arabia. This chapter contains the first main fight against those bad boys called the Alchemists. Okay, we did encounter them briefly in the previous chapter, but in this chapter we're going to have a big fight against them, okay? And I do use the Falcon Talons to take care of those guys because they have a fantastic move for taking them down with extreme ease in about 3 to 4 seconds each, okay? The sword also has a great combo for taking them down itself, but at this stage of the game we actually haven't unlocked all the move set for the sword, okay? So we're very limited in what sort of combos we can do with the sword at this stage. So that rules out, using the sword against the Alchemists here. So I just go ahead and use the Falcon's Talons on these guys, okay? It makes the fight much easier, trust me. You can use the Dragon Sword here against them, alright, but like I said, your moveset is limited and it is going to take a lot of time to take them down, okay? You're going to be dashing a lot, you're going to be jumping on their heads a lot, random flying swallows, okay? Chip shots, you jump in, do a couple of slashes, run back, throw a few shurikens to buy time and stun them. It's a fucking mess, basically, okay? And you're gonna make an error somewhere along the line and they'll just grab you and then it's game over, okay? Because, the grabs in these games are unforgiving, they are unrelenting, okay? They take way too much damage. And like I said, those Berets guys, if you remember, they take 75 to 80% damage in one grab off you, which is a fucking joke, okay? And pretty much the same with the Alchemist as well, if they grab you and get you on the ground, you've got to wiggle the left stick, press X to get them off. By the time you do that, you're going to have a sliver of health, your morale's going to drop, you're just going to be thinking this is fucked, and you're just going to make a few errors along the way, okay? Alright, so here we go, day 2. Getting started. Now just at the start here there's going to be a bunch of rocket soldiers. As you can see, we now have access to the bow, which is an outstanding weapon for taking care of these guys, okay? All you need to do is jump, hold left bumper, he'll aim, okay, like that, and then press right trigger to shoot it. It auto locks on to the enemies, so you really don't even have to think or do anything while you're jumping and doing this, okay? Same with these sort of all-terrain vehicles, whatever they are, with a couple of soldier guys on them. Exactly the same thing. Jump, hold left bumper, he'll auto aim, and just press right trigger to shoot him down, okay? You should be able to get through these types of sections without taking any damage. It is extremely easy, okay? And the bow is really good for taking it's not really good for damage, okay? Especially on larger enemies that we'll encounter later on in the game. But it is a good sort of delay tactic, okay? You can use it against the Alchemists if you wish. It's sort of almost like using the shurikens. It stuns them, but instead of just stunning them, it does do a little bit of damage, okay? So go ahead and use it on those Alchemists if you wish. I don't really know what's going on here or who this purple haired chick is. She's just appeared out of the sand in the middle of the desert, giving Ryu a sword. I have no idea what she's doing here, who she is, what purpose she serves in the story. This is the only time we encounter her throughout the game. She may have been in the first Ninja Gaiden game, for all I know. I didn't actually get around to completing that one, so she may have been in that one. Or she could have been in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 as the cooperative partner. Okay, so in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, that was actually a cooperative game. You could play through it with 2 players, one playing as Ryu, and I know that another player played as a chick. She may have been that chick that you play as in that game, okay? But I'm not 100% sure because I played Ninja Gaiden 2 on the Xbox 360 and that was just purely a single player game where you play as Ryu, okay? And what pisses me off about that is she gives you a sword, okay? There's no real explanation as to anything regarding that. So, for all you know, you could have gained an additional few combos with the sword, The game does not tell you that you've unlocked a new moveset with the sword. It's just, you just have to guess, and later on in the game, in about chapter 6 or 7, I believe that's when the sword, possibly even as late as chapter 8, that's when the sword becomes fully upgraded. Okay, you can use all the moveset for the sword, but the game does not tell you at all that the sword has been upgraded, you know, the movesets have been added, whatever. So I believe these sections where people randomly just turn up and give you a new sword, I think that's the indication that you've gained a few extra moves with the sword, okay? Because I do recall at the start of chapter 8, or possibly at the chapter end of 7, some guy appears out of the ground and he gives you another sword. So that may be the moment when you've fully attained, you know, the true dragon sword or whatever. Alright. So here I'm just going crazy with the Falcon Talons, alright? I do play sloppy in this section because I was just testing out the different moves with the Talons, you know, seeing what I could do. And what's great about them, and also the scythe as well, is that you get all the moves from the get-go, okay? There's none of this playing the game all the way through to unlock all the move sets. You get every single move with the Talons and every single move with the scythe immediately, okay? Which is fucking awesome. And what I really like about the Falcon's Talons here is that the Flying Swallow, press A plus X to perform the wind run, then press Y mid-air to do the Flying Swallow. You can immediately follow up with another Flying Swallow, okay? So you can do 2 Flying Swallows in a row. So, you know, sometimes they will block the first Flying Swallow. If they do that, press Y again, he'll go through again, and hopefully that second Flying Swallow will hit them. So you're going to see me doing that a couple of times here with the Falcon's Talons. And I believe that once the Dragon Sword is fully upgraded later on in the game, we'll be able to do... So there you go, I just did it, 2 Flying Swallows in a row. It's really good. Yep, there we go again. So this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can just keep spamming the shit out of this move and get through almost the entire game doing this, but you know, there's going to be enemies in the game later on that are just going to consistently block this, so it's going to be impractical later on, okay? But for just these soldier guys and, you know, the Berets, possibly even the orange knife dick bags, okay, you may be able to pull it off on them, but I have a feeling that they are going to be more resistant to that, okay? Bit of Ninpo, I was getting fucked up there, so we'll go ahead and do that. Take care of all these enemies on the screen. Hopefully that should be it. Oh no, a few more rocket guys. Jump with the arrow, auto aims on, just take care of them, okay? These guys are your priority, so if you're getting fucked up by berets and soldiers on the ground here, you would not focus on them first, you would go ahead and take care of those rocket guys, okay? They are extremely fucking annoying on Master Ninja when you're going through a fight and there's just rockets on your ass. Not only that, they cause significant frame rate slowdown in the game. That is another main reason why I take care of those guys straight away. They slow the game massively. So for example, if you pressed AX, okay, to perform the wind run, because the game is going so slow, it may not register that input and you may just press X or something instead. So on screen, Ryu would just do a slash with the Talons, and you didn't actually intend to do that, so you'd be thinking, oh fuck, here we go. Now I'm going to have to try and jump out of this mess. You know, by the time you've done that, you may be surrounded by about 6 or 7 enemies. You'll be grabbed, you know, 80% of your health is gone, and you're just going to be like, this is absolutely fucked, okay, this game is a broken mess. Why the hell is there slowdown? What the fuck is going on? So that is why you want to take care of those rocket guys straight away, okay? That is what I find to be the main problem playing on Master Ninja here, okay? It's not actually difficult, so to speak. It's just that the game slows down in certain sections and your inputs don't register. So, you know, basically one error on Master Ninja causes death, alright? You have to be flawless at doing this shit. So, because frame rate slowdown causes errors, that is what causes you to get killed a lot of the time on this difficulty, okay? And it's extremely fucking annoying, but it's just something you have to accept with this game, alright? One other thing I haven't mentioned yet with the Talons is that when you go to do the OT, the obliteration technique, okay, on crawling enemies, sometimes the targeting system is off. So you'll go in, you'll press Y, okay, right next to the crawling incapacitated soldier or whatever, you know, to finish him off with an obliteration technique. And what Ryu will do instead, if you have the Talons equipped, is he will go ahead and target some enemy 100 meters away, you know, at the end of the screen. So what he'll do is when you press Y, instead of going in for the OT technique, he'll actually just do the Y move, you know, he'll fling his Talons in the air and, you know, just do a kick in the air and hit nothing. And that is really, really dangerous on Master Ninja, because it leaves you open for a grab. You know, if there's enemies near you, you're just going to get fucked up, you know. That is really annoying using the Talons here, okay? The targeting system is fucked with the obliteration techniques, okay, with the Talons. So that is why I switch up to the sword here, because this is actually a pretty difficult fight going on here, okay? We've got dogs jumping around, we've got beret guys not only trying to grab you constantly 24/7, but they do fling shurikens in the air from time to time, which stuff up your Azuna combos. So, you know, if you're in the middle of trying to do an XY like that, sometimes they can flick a shuriken in the air and cancel that combo, which is very, very annoying. So, as you're seeing here, I'm always going in for the OT techniques after disabling an enemy. Okay, I'm going to do it on this guy here, because not only do I want to build up my Ninpo meter, but I do want to get those iframes happening, okay? Because this fight is very, very dangerous. You cannot stay still for 1 second, okay? As you can see, I'm just jumping around all over the place. That was very dangerous there, and I've got a bit of slowdown going on. So that's probably what caused that. You know, I've probably gone to press XY and he's just gone and done XX instead for some fucking unknown reason, just because the game's slowing down significantly here. The problem is there's just too much shit on the screen at once. That's what's causing this, okay? And that's why when the rocket guys come on screen, that is why they cause slowdown. Because say you've got about 4 or 5 rocket soldiers on screen at once, okay, and you're fighting these guys down here, you're going to have about 26 rockets just coming onto the screen, landing on the ground, alright, which is just ridiculous. Not only can't you see what's going on, but it is just so much shit on screen at once that the game just cannot deal with it, okay? So that is fucking annoying, alright? So I've just done a UT technique. Oh shit, I've just been grabbed there by a beret. Very, very dangerous. Okay, I'm on a sliver of health here. So whenever I'm on a sliver of health like this, I just go Azuna combo crazy, okay? It's either dash into slide stun, then Y, X, 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 Y, and then I immediately do the OT technique all the time, because what I want to try and do here is build up my Ninpo, because using Ninpo replenishes, you know, not only kills all the enemies on screen, but it does replenish your health fully. Okay, so that is all I'm doing here. There is no, yep, bang, there we go. When you're on a sliver of health like that, there is no time to get cocky and, you know, try and chain a steel on bone attack or anything like that. Do not even bother doing that, alright? You have to play it extremely safe and just go for these Azuna combos non-stop, alright? So yeah, as I was saying with the Falcon Talons, they are a great weapon, okay? The combos are exactly the same, alright? X, Y, X, 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 Y to perform the Azuna drop. Alright, Flying Swallows are all the same. A lot of the other combos are quite similar as well, but the only problem I have with that weapon is the targeting system for obliteration techniques, okay? It is off, it does not work. Like I said, if you press X or Y next to a downed, incapacitated, crawling enemy, Ryu will go ahead and just perform the Y attack with the claws, you know, the flip kick, whatever, and try to hit a soldier halfway across the screen. Very fucking annoying, okay? But if that didn't happen, I would probably be using the... Oh, here we go, I've just initiated a steel and bone attack there, that was pretty cool. yeah, so you know, if the Talons didn't have that problem, I would be using them 24/7 throughout this entire playthrough, okay? Because that is the go-to weapon for taking care of Alchemists. It is the go-to weapon for taking care of the Chimera, those big apes and serpents that you encounter later on in the game. I think the first time we actually encounter them is in Chapter 3, but Chapter 4 is where we do face a lot of those types of enemies, okay? So the claws are what I'm going to be using to take care of them. Basically has an infinite combo, iframe combo with the Talons for taking care of them. You cannot be touched while doing it, okay? So it is absolutely fantastic taking care of those guys. And just, you know, if only the targeting system worked, you know, I would not have to resort to using a dragon sword at all. So, you know, obliteration techniques are very, very important. Not only do they take care of enemies and give you iframes, but they build up your ninpo meter very, very quickly, okay? So obliteration techniques are absolutely essential here, alright? The scythe, I did use the scythe a little bit, okay? I was not a fan at all. Oh, I just got damaged a fair bit there. Bit of an error, okay? So one error can virtually devoid the entire fight. Pointless, okay? So I've just used Ninpo there to get all my health back. And what I should have done here is I should have saved it, because after this wave of these vehicles here, there's going to be a wave of dogs, alright? Really, really annoying. I almost die. So try and save that Ninpo for the dog wave, okay? But I was just getting the shits there. I just wanted to get rid of those enemies. So here we go. We've got dogs, alright. And rockets. Fuck, okay. I forgot about that as well. Now I do get lucky and build up a UT here to take care of a couple of dogs, alright. Kill 3 dogs off. But if you go into this fight without a UT and without an Ninpo, it's very, very difficult, okay? Because dogs, they just jump around the place. They're just fucking annoying. They're unpredictable, okay? There are not really many safe combos that you can utilize on the dogs. As you can see here, I'm just going in for the XXXY combo, whatever. Or just XXXX, just mashing X, okay? One of the really great combos you can do against the dogs is XY. That should fling them into the air, okay? And then just keep pressing X, okay? So XY to fling them in the air, then XXXXX, just keep pressing X, alright? Do not Azuna, you cannot Azuna drop the dogs, okay? So don't do that. So when you press XY, it'll fling the dogs into the air. Keep pressing X, and what will happen is he'll go down with this nice sword slash, okay? And what it does is it causes like a small shock wave around you, alright? And that'll stun or even damage some of the dogs surrounding you, okay? So that'll buy you a bit of time to go ahead and start another combo like that, alright? And you can just keep spamming that. So I don't know why I didn't go ahead and do that there on those dogs, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And there we go. Oh, that's a beautiful steel on bone chain right there. That was fantastic. That was really, really nice. So, you know, if you can get those steel on bone chains happening, it is really, really good, okay? Especially, like I said, if you've got Berets or orange knife dick bags or tougher enemies next to you, you can just take them out in one attack, okay? However, like I've said in the previous chapter, the problem with steel on boning those guys is that instead of pressing X to do it, as you do with the regular foot soldiers here, the game will prompt you to press Y instead. And for some reason what that does is that cancels out the steel on bone chain. So as soon as you press Y, I mean, it will kill them instantly. Press Y, it'll kill them, but you will not be able to follow up with another steel on bone chain after that, okay? So if you keep pressing X on a nearby enemy, he'll just go into the XXX combo, okay? He will not continue the steel on bone chain attack. So pressing Y voids that, which is really annoying. And here we go, we've got the Alchemist fight right now. So you just got to shoot an arrow there, that'll trigger them to come down. Alright, so I'm going to switch out to the Falcon's Talons here immediately. Alright, no bullshit. I think there's 3 or 4 that we have to fight at once. I think there's 3 here that I can see. Alright, so the ones that have the glowing hands, you want to take care of that shit. Okay, break that with a flying swallow, that's their armor. Alright, because they can throw projectiles at you with that shit, so just get rid of that. And here we go. I'm sort of just getting my head around it because this was actually the first time I was trying to do this combo. Alright, so what you do is you need to sort of be standing still. Alright, so as you can see, I just did it there to that Alchemist there, and what happens is if you do it correctly, they'll fall flat on their ass like that. Okay, there we go. So basically what you need to do is press Y once in an almost standing, there we go, in an almost standing position. If you do it right, oh shit, I just got grabbed there. If you do it correctly, the Alchemists will fall flat on their ass, okay, on their back. And when they are on their back, what you do is you immediately press forward Y, okay? That goes into the fling up in the air combo, X, 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 Y, like that, for the Azuna drop, okay? And that will kill those motherfuckers instantly, alright? But make sure that you've broken their armor first, okay? Because it will not work, you know, if they've got the armor going like that, okay? So there we go. I got a little bit cocky there. I just did the forward X move too soon. You have to wait till they're completely flat on their back first, like that. There we go. X, 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 Y. Dash in, press Y to do the OT technique. Now you'll also notice that I'm actually pulling off the obliteration techniques here with the Talons fairly frequently. One of the ways I've realised to sort of get around and to sort of doing it 97% of the time successfully is to perform the dash first, okay? So if I, you know, after Azuna's dropping that Alchemist, if I was just to press Y with the Talons there, okay, he'd go ahead and target another Alchemist running around as opposed to performing the obliteration technique on the downed one. So what I found is that to get around that and to, you know, sort of be successful with OT techniques with the Falcon's Talons is to perform the dash move very, very close to their body, okay? So incapacitate them, Azuna drop them, whatever, when they're crawling, perform the left trigger slide dash move, get in really, really close to them, then press Y, okay? That seems to work about 95 to 97% of the time, okay? But you know, it's not foolproof, it doesn't work all the time like the sword, so that's why I'm not really a fan of using the Falcon's Talons, you know, for regular fights here. So, just save the Talons for the Alchemists and the big ass enemies like the Chimera, the Gorillas and the Serpents that we encounter later on in the game from chapter 3 or 4 onwards, okay? But for regular fights like here, which is, we've got a big one coming up right now, the Dragon Sword is just fantastic, okay? Flying Swallows, great. On landing 360 Ys into Azuna's. Slide dash into Y to lift them up and then go ahead into Azuna. That's all you really need to do here, okay? Now I've got rocket guys above me for this fight. Gonna take care of them with my bow straight off the bat because they will slow down the frame rate significantly. And we've got a few annoying enemies in this fight, okay? We've got the orange knife dickbags and the Berets, alright? So this is actually a pretty difficult fight, but you want to take care of those rocket guys straight off the bat, alright? Now what I'm doing here is, I'm just trying to go Flying Swallow crazy, you know, and I've just jumped on that guy's head. When I was going through this, you know, this was still all sort of still learning phase for me, learning how to get through the game, what combos were the best, you know, and I'm trying to pass on that knowledge to you guys. But as I'm watching myself play here, I'm not playing as good as I would have liked to have been, okay? One of the greatest things you can do in fights like this is when you perform the wind run move, okay, A plus X to jump near an enemy. Instead of pressing Y mid-air to do that, the Flying Swallow, press A again, and what he'll do is he'll jump on the nearest enemy's head, and he'll jump over the back of them, okay? And what that does, that is a fantastic move to utilise in Master Ninja mode, okay? What it does is he'll jump on their head, it will stun them, and that is a really, really good move, okay? It's an iframe while you're doing it. And what you can do, it's really good for the Beret guys because they'll be stunned when you jump on their head, and once you've jumped over behind them you can just go into a slide move close to them then just immediately press Y to fling them up into the air, X, 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 Y, okay, to perform the Zune drop combo. So that is a fantastic move that you should really be getting comfortable with using, okay, because in chapter 3, the start of chapter 3, the next chapter, there is some really tough fights, okay, involving a lot of these beret guys, dogs, regular soldiers, rocket soldiers, and there's just too much shit going on the screen at once to process, okay. So what I do a lot in those fights is the wind run, then press A to jump on their head, stun them, alright. And I'm not really using it a lot here, which is not very good, okay. I would strongly recommend that you use it in these types of fights, okay, especially with the berets. It is virtually a foolproof beret killing combo, okay. I would strongly recommend that you just that is your beret go-to killing combo, okay, because berets are quite unpredictable. You know, sometimes they will block your shurikens and that won't stun them, okay, and you'll get grabbed and fucked up. Sometimes they will block flying swallows, okay, so the flying swallows are not a foolproof way of taking care of them. They can even block just your XY combo, you know, which is the standard Zune drop combo, fling them up into the air, then follow up with XXXY. They can block that. So I found that the foolproof method for taking care of those berets is, like I said, wind run over towards them, press A, jump on their head, you know, and follow up with the Zune drop combo. Orange knife dick bags here, we all know the combo to take care of them. On landing 360Y into the Zune drop combo, okay. And I'm just liking watching myself here. There we go, just did it again then. I love that combo, okay, I told you guys about that in the previous chapter. What you can do is on the regular foot soldier guys and, you know, the rocket guys, you can just get in close to them, press B once when you're semi-close to them, okay? You fling out one shuriken, but always stuns them, okay? It always stuns them. And while they're stunned, you can dash into them and slide. And what that does is, instead of just hitting them, it'll actually fling them over the top of you, and you can press Y to initiate a cool instant kill move with them, okay? It's fucking awesome. I love doing that from time to time, okay? It's not really practical, okay? I mean, it's probably more safe just to do the flying swallow on them, or an Zune drop combo, but I can't help myself. I just love the look of that combo. It's fucking awesome, okay? Perform just a little shuriken, okay, stuns them, just slide into them, flings them over. I love it, okay. So you're going to see me doing it quite a lot throughout this playthrough here on Master Ninja. And we've got this massive chopper here to take care of. Now all you need to do is just jump left and right and hold left bumper, and it'll auto target, you know, the rockets on this chopper here that you need to take care of with the bow. So the bow is the go-to weapon for taking care of these choppers, right? Now here I got fucked up quite a little bit, okay? I did die about 10 times just trying to get through this first chopper here. I don't know what was going on. I think the problem was I was trying to just dodge all the rockets and then sort of wait for the moment when it stops firing rockets, but you don't really need to do that. All you need to do is just randomly jump from left, go all the way to the left till you can't go anymore while firing arrows in the air, and then just start again, go all the way to the right. So as you can see here, I'm just going left, firing the arrows, then I start going to the right when I've run out of room to go to the right, or the, you know, if the camera gets a little bit fucked up, I start going left again, okay? So that's all you need to do to take care of these big ass choppers. Alright. And this chapter actually has a fucking cool boss fight, okay? I was a bit skeptical first when I went through it, you know, on my first playthrough on normal, but as I've gone through it, you know, on hard, and here again I'm going through it on Master Ninja, I've actually grown to just like this boss fight, okay? It's really easy, okay? It's just a big attack helicopter chopper. It's just a big ass helicopter, alright, that we need to take care of. And it's just shooting rockets at you, and all you need to do is use the arrow to take care of it. But it's got some really fucking cool quick time events in regards to taking care of it. You know, you'll jump in, you'll swoop down, you'll perform like a falcon dive towards it, and you'll just it's just ridiculous and over the top, okay? You'll there'll be a quick time event to mash Y where you just gotta wedge your dragon sword into the front of the chopper and just cut the chopper, okay? It's fucking absurd, but I love it. Alright, so these guys here, these are actually the orange knife dick bags that are in the air. We've got a few choppers as well that'll appear. Take care of them. Just, you know, there's no thought required to this battle here whatsoever. It's just simply jumping, okay, pressing left bumper in the air to go into an auto lock move, and then pressing right trigger to actually fire the arrow, okay? So the game's doing everything for me here. All I'm just doing is jumping and firing arrows randomly, okay? The game will auto lock it onto you, auto lock onto the nearest enemy for you, so you do not have to think or do anything. And as I was saying, these flying rocket guys here, these are actually the orange knife dick bags. So from a distance they aren't really dangerous, but if they get in close to you, they've got like a flamethrower move which can be quite damaging. Alright, so as long as you keep them at a distance, these guys you know, possess no trouble to you whatsoever. It's only if they get in close to you that they can start getting a little bit hairy, okay, and getting a little bit difficult to deal with because of that flamethrower move. I believe they've got machine guns as well, which they can fire from a distance, but you know, you're never really going to get hit, and if it does, it's going to take like less than 1 millimeter of health from you, okay? They pose no threat whatsoever. They can land on the ground if they get really, really close, okay? And they can turn off their jetpacks, and they can pull out their orange knives, and then you can just take care of them through the usual method, you know, on landing 360Y into Azuna. Or if you're into it like I'm doing here and just keep jumping around doing the arrows, you can just keep doing that, okay? So that's what I just tend to do. Alright, so here we go. We have got this fight coming up took me quite a few attempts. It's a difficult fight, okay? From the get-go, you've got about 6 to 7 rocket soldiers. They are your priority in this fight. Okay, so you're going to want to take care of them straight off the bat. Very, very fucking annoying, okay, because you've got Berets on the ground here throwing shurikens at you as you're jumping, trying to shoot the arrows, and they're trying to run in and grab you as well. But you must take care of these rocket guys, okay, like I just did then. They are the absolute priority in this fight. Like I said, not only is it going to fuck you up by getting rockets on your ass, but it's going to cause massive slowdown for this fight, okay? So as soon as you jump down here for this fight like I did, just jump around, jump all the way to the end, and just jump firing arrows at those rocket guys, and then just start again, you know, make your way back again and just keep shooting arrows, take care of those rocket guys, alright? So here it's just standard shit, okay? The Zunas, I've got a UT here which I should probably use because there's a lot of Berets here. Fucking annoying, I hate the Berets. And there are going to be a lot of waves on this fight, okay? So I believe that as soon as I get Ninpo, I believe that I use it straight away. I cannot really remember or see what happens. I just remember that there are a lot of waves of enemies in this fight, okay? So you've got to be switched on, focused throughout the whole of this fight, okay? If it's getting hairy like what I just did then, make your way to the end of the area, okay? Just jump, gather a bit of breathing room, assess the situation, have a look what enemies are near you, okay? Alright, so there we go, beautiful. XY into a Zuna drop on those Berets. What I tried to do there was try to do a steel on bone. If you can chain a steel on bone here, fantastic. But, you know, while you're trying to do that, for example, if you're pressing XXXY to get a steel on bone happening, the Berets are just going to come in and grab you and just fuck everything up, okay? So I've just done a Ninpo there. I did have a lot of health, so I'm not too sure why I did that. I think I just had the shits with this fight because I did die about 10 to 15 times trying to get through it, okay? And a lot of the times that I was dying on this fight was actually at the start, trying to take care of those rocket guys off the bat, because as I was doing that I was getting shurikens thrown at me by the Berets, okay? So I was getting interrupted while I was trying to shoot my arrows at those rocket guys. and then I'd fall to the ground, and either a rocket soldier would grab me or the Berets would come in and grab me and just kill me instantly. So a lot of the deaths on this fight were actually spent at the very start, alright? So if you can just get through that, you should be good to go, okay? Like I said, if you can chain steel on bones here, fantastic, but it is a little bit risky doing that because, like I said, you've got these Berets and they do tend to just get in and grab you and just fuck it up, okay? And you do not want to get grabbed by these guys. They take off way too much damage. A little bit excessive in my opinion, but you know, that's why it's called Master Ninja. It's not called Master Ninja for no reason. And I've heard that on Ultimate, there's actually an Ultimate Ninja difficulty, alright? So here we go, I'm performing a lot of the, I just saw myself doing it there quite a bit. I was performing the wind run and then jumping on their heads, okay? So I think that I started getting the message, you know, realising that that was a great move to do, so I did start using it there quite a bit. Use my Ninpo there. Hopefully that should be it, but oh, there we go, that was nice. Straight into an skin on bone. He must have been damaged a little bit. Alright, so here we go, we've got this section now where this happens frequently in the game in certain sections, okay? His arm will start to glow red and he'll be in pain and he'll be limping and staggering around the place, okay? When this happens, you've usually, I didn't have any enemies left over there, but for the most part you'll usually have a couple of enemies just lingering around, and instead of getting in and fucking you up, you know, especially if there's a Beret around, instead of just getting in and grabbing you, they'll just stand there looking at you. So basically when the game goes into this stage, it poses no threat whatsoever, you're good to go, okay? Basically you just walk up to the enemies, they're just going to stand there looking at you going, what? Oh, okay. And you just press X or Y, it'll kill them instantly, okay? So the game is actually a lot easier when Ryu is in that stage, okay? Which doesn't really make sense because, you know, you'd think the enemies would take advantage of you, but whatever. Try not to think too much about sense and making sense in this game because it severely lacks it, okay? And here we'll just perform little wall runs across to make our way across, and these guys are quite close, so what I like to do is just standing jump into auto lock bow shots, okay? Because, oh there we go, he's just gotten really close to me and he's using his flamethrower move, alright? So I just take him out with an arrow shot. The good thing about the arrows is that they're technically explosive arrows, so they'll explode upon, you know, you'll shoot the arrow into them and then there'll be an explosion, which is really good. So I think for those flamethrower guys, what happens is, if they do make it to the ground, you can actually jump and shoot the arrow at them and they'll explode, and that'll probably, I think what it does is it explodes their tank on their back, so it kills them in one arrow shot, which is really good, okay? But you know, if they stop using the flamethrower, they can pull out the orange knives and turn into those orange knife dick bags, alright? So you want to try and avoid that happening in the first place. But they don't really pose much of a threat, okay? So it's all good, it's all easy. And here we go, we've got the pointless Konami, whatever it's fucking called, the Konami climb, which doesn't really serve any purpose in the game other than to fucking annoy you. You know, here we go, we've got this bad guy that we fought in the previous chapter. We don't actually fight him here, okay, but we do fight this guy about 3 times in the game, and it's just fucking annoying, okay? There is an incredibly easy way to take care of this guy with the Falcon's Talons, okay? And when we encounter him for the second time, you know, when we have to fight him for the second time in chapter 4, I'll walk you guys through how to take care of him very, very easily with the Falcon's Talons, okay? You can actually do it without getting hit at all, alright? So this is supposedly explaining more of the story in Ninja Gaiden 3, whatever, if there is a fucking story, okay? I don't even know what he's talking about here, alright? He's going on about Ryu's arm and shit, how that it's basically housing all the souls of the dead that he's slain, okay? And it's slowly killing him, There is actually one thing I do like about this bad guy, and that is his laugh. Alright, all bad guys have to have some crazy, ridiculous laugh. And pretty much after everything he says to Ryu, he just bursts into this ridiculous laugh, okay, which I really enjoy. I like it, okay. It may sound different with the English voices, okay. I'm playing with Japanese voices here, and that's the only way I play these types of games, okay, just to give it that more authentic feel. But if you play it with the Japanese voices, it's got a cool laugh going on, alright. I'm not sure how it would sound with the English voices. It would probably be fucking terrible. You know, I just hate when they westernize it, and it just, I can't stand it. You know, it's like those old badly dubbed kung fu movies from the 70s and 80s. I fucking hate it. So I always play in Japanese voices here, okay? And this guy that we're actually talking to here, he's called the Regent of the Mask. He can be quite difficult to take down in battles against him by normal means, okay, by utilizing normal combos. One of the easiest ways to fight him is simply using the Falcon's Talons, and what you can do is you can run towards him and press Y, and what he'll do is he'll do a jump kick with the Talons, then press Y again, and that will actually launch him into the air, okay, and when he's in the air you can press X, Y, or just Y to finish the combo, okay. It's actually an Azuna drop combo with the Falcon's Talons. It will not do an Azuna drop to him though, but if you do it just on regular foot soldiers and the like, running YY with the Falcon's Talons, that will launch the enemy into the air, then you press X, Y, and he'll do an Azuna drop. But on this guy it'll just damage him, you know, and send him flying to the ground. It is a fantastic combo to use against him, okay. It is one of the few combos he cannot counter, interrupt, or grab you while you're doing it, okay. So what I like to do is just constantly spam that move while I'm to take care of him. But here we go anyway. This is actually the final boss. You know, we're coming towards the end of this chapter here. So we're fighting this massive attack helicopter here, which is just fucking ridiculous. It's so absurd. I love it, okay. So look at this. Oh my god, you jam your sword into the fucking front of it and mash Y, you know, you get a quick time event. You cut, yes that's right, cut the attack helicopter with your sword, you know, it's just ridiculous. Alright, and then we get on the wing here and we've just got to take care of these machine gun turrets. Alright, really easy. All you need to do is dodge left and right while it's shooting, okay. You'll never get hit. It's impossible to get hit by those things. And when you see the yellow light come on, you know, just start hitting it. And as we come back down, as you can see, all I'm doing is just making my way left and right across this platform that I'm on, holding left bumper to auto lock onto the actual, you know, rockets and fire the arrows into them. Sometimes it will, when you're firing the arrow or go to fire the arrow, it will actually auto lock onto the front of the chopper, okay. That can be annoying at times, but it's gonna happen, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. But when this happens, you know, when you shoot it and you get this event here, that means you can perform Falcon dive off the platform onto the chopper, go into the quick time event, mash Y, cut the chopper, okay, and there's just another machine gun turret that you have to take care of. So like I was saying, just keep dashing left and right while it's shooting you, and then when you're ready, go in and start hitting it, okay. When it turns yellow, there we go. I just did a fucking, oh no, that's alright. So hold left trigger and right trigger here to hold on, and this is really easy as well, okay. You can see how slow the turret's actually turning, so you know, you probably, if you're on the far right or far left, you probably won't even have to even move. That's how slow the turret's going. So we've got a couple of these rocket guys here that have just spawned, okay. They do not exist, ignore them, alright. Just take care of this turret when, there we go, the lights come on, so start hitting it, and that's it, okay. Yeah, so ignore those jetpack guys there, okay. They do not exist. And we'll jump onto this platform here, repeat the process again. Now it's a little bit frustrating because we do have these jetpack guys here, alright. So you're going to constantly target them as opposed to the chopper, but that's okay. There isn't an infinite amount of them, okay. They will disappear. after you've killed a set amount. I'm not really sure how many, but it does feel like quite a lot. The only thing you've really got to be concerned about while jumping around doing this to them is the rockets, okay? So, oh, there we go, I've just hit one of the rockets on the chopper. And one of those jetpack guys have actually turned into an orange knife dickbag, and I can see him chasing me around down the bottom there. It's getting fucking annoying. So hopefully... oh, he might have died. And I believe what happens here is, if you actually target the front of the chopper like I just did then, okay, like I said, he sometimes targets the front of it instead of the rockets on the left and right there. When you shoot the front of it, the chopper will come swooping down over the top of you and it will drop some bombs like so, okay? Really easy to dodge. You can tell where the bombs are going to drop by the massive highlighted orange round. See, as you can see there, round things on the platform. Very simple, but it's going to happen, alright? So don't try and, when you're going into this, oh there we go, so that's sweet. I think that should be it as well. We've hit it a few times. This should be one last cut here on the attack helicopter, and we should see it finally die. Alright, so, oh here we go, yep. So this is actually quite pointless. I don't understand why we're doing this. All we need to do is hold left trigger and right trigger. Why couldn't the game just go into a cutscene where we're holding on to it? Why do we have to physically hold left trigger and right trigger? I don't know. I don't understand. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, Falcon dive off that. And that's it. Alright? That is the end of the fucking day 2 chapter. Really not that difficult, okay? Probably one of the easiest chapters in my opinion. It's just full of foot soldiers, berets. Did have a fight with a couple of alchemists, but there weren't really that many, and if you're using the method that I used with the Falcon Talons, this chapter is going to pose virtually no real threat whatsoever, okay? So it's really easy. And actually, before I forget, one other thing I was going to mention during that attack chopper boss fight, okay, is that when you go to jump, press left bumper, auto locks onto one of the rockets, okay, like I was saying, sometimes he auto locks onto the front of the chopper. Obviously, you don't want that to happen, right? So naturally, what a lot of people do is they try and press the left stick and manually aim the arrow to the rockets instead of the front of the chopper. Okay, don't even bother attempting to do this, okay? You can't. The game is fucked in this aspect, okay? Manually aiming with the arrow as opposed to just using the auto lock feature is a fucking nightmare. It's an absolute mess, okay? It will not work. What will happen is sometimes when I've tried to do it, he actually, so for example, if he targets the rockets on the right of the chopper and I try to press left on the left stick to move it to the front, for some fucking weird reason the cursor goes right, okay? This doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened to me, and I've just gone, this game is fucked, okay? So do not ever attempt to manually aim the arrow, okay? And this doesn't just apply to that attack chopper boss fight, okay? I mean, it applies to those when you use it against the enemies, such as those, you know, those all-terrain vehicles that we encountered in this chapter. Rocket soldiers as well. Just go with the auto lock feature, okay? Trust me, just accept it. Just jump, press left bumper, and then just keep mashing right trigger, okay? And just keep jumping and just repeating, alright? Do not attempt to ever manually aim. I've also recently discovered a really cool thing that you can do, okay? What you can do is, while you're playing, press start, go into the options menu, alright? Now, one of the most complained about features of these games in the Ninja Gaiden series is, especially the previous one, and this one as well, is the camera, okay? The camera is really fucked in these games, especially when you try and maneuver it around to see what's going on behind you. For some reason it doesn't, you know, you're looking at something else and you'll get grabbed or killed because you are unaware of an enemy closing in on you, okay? So what you can do is, during battle, just press the start button to pause it, bring up options, and there's a thing there called camera speed, okay? Now what I had that set to was actually 50%, alright, originally, and go ahead and change that to 100%. Trust me, it is so much better. The camera speed turns a lot quicker when you rotate the right stick. Okay, it's almost a lifesaver for me. Okay, figuring that out. It's fucking awesome. So make sure you do that. Alright, guys. But anyway, that's the end of day 2, and I'll see you in the next video for day 3.